Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to High Risk Podcast. This is episode 10, and as you see, hopefully you see
Hopefully,
me. Yeah,
hopefully we're live.
hopefully. Yeah, hopefully you see me. I am Noah Sharp. Pleasure to meet you. And the ravishing fellow here along with me, please state your name.
I'm Scott. Matt is not with us today. We
Yeah,
will leave it at that.
yeah, he has disappeared on us, nowhere to be found. But surely he will be with us for future episodes. But who knows after this? We may have to just shun him, kick him out.
You never know. I mean, he could get the old CM Punk treatment. We might just kick him out and leave it at that. So,
but going along with it, we're hopefully making good on our promise this year. We said episode 10 we wanted to do a video podcast, give you something to look at and not just listen to. Although, really, the great thing about this form of media is that you can do either. If you want to watch it, that's great. If you just want to listen, that's perfectly fine as well. But going through it, we are going to talk this week in wrestling. So sadly, Matthew being gone, he was our Raw guy. But just looking at some quick recaps, we could tell that Brock Lesnar finally made his appearance on Raw since WrestleMania. He has not been seen or heard from, but he is there.
It's interesting how he gets to keep his title even though he hasn't defended it in 30 days.
Yeah, I mean, the WWE, of course, is very pick and choose on which rules they want to inflict and which ones they just want to slide right on by. You know,
it's very frustrating. But
oh yeah.
So yeah, they had a tear apart brawl. So I mean that's good. They're building up Samoa Joe to be a real contender. Right now at this point, I still don't see Samoa Joe winning. Well, I don't see Brock Lesnar losing the title. So I mean, I know everyone wants Samoa Joe they don't want Samoa Joe to lose this, but I don't think you're taking away Brock's title in his first title defense. That's just
that makes sense.
Yeah, Brock. They built Brock up to be Brock, and if you have him lose on his first title defense to Samoa Joe, it's just you're gonna make Raw look like trash.
Yeah, I think that
look like trash.
I mean, speaking of which, with Brock and his multiple losses in his feud against Goldberg, I don't think he'd even give the WWE an option for him to lose. At least his next two matches at the very least. You know, as you said, you know, they want to keep him that dominant figure that we all know he is. But the great thing about this feud that makes it so interesting is that Samoa Joe is not afraid of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
He has no fear when it comes to him. And we've seen that from people like Dean Ambrose before when they had their little mini feud. But I really believe it. Whenever it comes up to people who can really do damage to each other, based on the storytelling, the promos from Joe, I feel like Joe could, probably break this guy's arm or choke him out if he really wanted to. I know that this is a match that people in the indies with Samoa Joe just now coming up to WWE, people have really wanted this match to happen. And I know that there's a lot of indie fans out there that are really happy that we're finally getting this match, me included. So I think there's a lot to look forward, at least with that.
And by the way, guys, this is Gracie, as we always talk about if we get video. This is Gracie. Say hi, Gracie. And Gracie wants no part of this. So that is Gracie. So if you see a white blur walking across my screen, that is our mascot, Gracie. But yeah, going back to Raw real quick. Outside of that, you had a bear wrestle a match.
That.
I believe that's about the only other highlight.
Yeah, and I mean,
if you really even want to call that a highlight.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot with Dean Ambrose and The Miz and their feud. I don't know. I just don't see the heat between them anymore in their matches.
No,
I just don't get it. I mean, I feel like their match at Extreme Rules was great. It was one of the better matches on the card. It didn't make sense for the pay-per-view, but it was still a decent match aside from that. I'm just ready for them to move on to something different.
It's just it's one thing to have a feud drag on super long time, Brock and Goldberg, if you're not seeing the two go at each other's throats every single week. At least with Brock and Goldberg, we got weeks apart of it, or We might see Brock one week, and we might see Goldberg the next week. So we didn't see Brock and Goldberg attacking each other on a weekly basis, which is, I think, part of the reason why no one cares about this feud at this point. Carrying on, Cesaro and Sheamus defended their titles in 2 out of 3 falls against the Hardy Boys, and apparently it was like a dusty finish. So I think the Hardy Boys are wearing off. I mean, like I said, as I've said in the past, the only reason people wanted the Hardys back was because they wanted Broken Matt, and they don't have Broken Matt yet, so they're just kind of couldn't care less about Hardy Boys, just kind of waiting for it.
Did you watch Bring It to the Table at all?
I have not got a chance to watch it yet, no.
So on that, Corey Graves actually had a interview with the Hardy Boys, and they actually talked about, they actually said the broken or shattered gimmick, and they said, yeah. They said that. I mean, the Hardy Boys.
They're gonna ruin it from the get go. If they're gonna say the shattered gimmick, they've already,
Well, no, he said broken, but I guess to like sort of save himself for like legal reasons, he like switched it up to shattered, because I mean, who knows what all the legal reasons are.
It's just. It's like seeing a knockoff brand at Walmart, it's not the real thing. You don't, I mean, most people want the name brand. You don't want the knockoff.
Like fake Diesel and fake Razor Ramon back in the day. Yeah.
So,
but with that, they just said that they are working on it, that hopefully those gimmicks will be available soon. But until then, they aren't afraid to rely on their singles career and as single competitors. Jeff Hardy has stated that he wants to do a Hell in a Cell match. He's never done that, and that
Jeff Hardy's never done a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he's only done like a elimination chamber, and
he's done steel cage matches.
Really yeah, so he's never done a Hell in a Cell. So I don't know who he'd do that match against.
Well, I remember seeing he got interviewed once, and they said, what would his dream retirement match be? And he said a Hell in a Cell versus The Undertaker. Yeah. That's not going to happen. So, moving on, like I said, I think the biggest thing with the Hardy Boys is just the countdown to the shattered gimmick, as apparently we might have to start calling it now.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a really awkward Corey Graves interview, from what I understand. It was very, very awkward to sit through. I'm going to have to go back and watch it, but it was just not.
Same. I didn't get to see that.
Yeah, no, I don't think I care about anything else. I don't.
Agreed.
We'll move on to the important stuff, which is SmackDown, because what the heck just happened to your room?
Oh, man. Oh, wow. These lights of mine, they keep changing, how crazy.
So, SmackDown's big pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, is this weekend, which I am very excited for. Noah, do you know why I'm excited for this pay-per-view?
Please, lay it on me. Why are you excited?
I'm going to be at this pay-per-view, so you can suck it, Noah. That's all I got to say.
Man, I don't know. It's surprising that, me and Matt have been wrestling fans longer than you, yet you are the first one out of us. You are the first one out of us to actually go see a pay-per-view show. So,
well, we'll go ahead and go through SmackDown, I guess, first. Before we go into our predictions. So the New Day came out and they were arguing with the Usos, and then Breezango and the Clones came out. So I'm happy that they're still giving Breezango stuff to do, because the crowd loves them, and at least they're keeping on television. They realize that they're entertaining and the crowd likes them. So keep them on. To me,
I'm just afraid that we're gonna have too many comedy gimmicks in the tag team division with, not only the New Day and then Breezango. I feel like that can become oversaturated really fast.
Well, that leads me to another thing with the New Day is, personally, I've been over the New Day since late last year.
I've been over the New Day since they really pushed out their last tag.
When they did for the longest reign, they had it to me probably 3 months longer than they should have. But I think they were just close enough that they just wanted to ride it out and make sure the New
Well,
Day.
no, I know that they had like broken the record, but they went on. I think it was like another month or two after they'd broken that
They
record.
dropped the record. I think they dropped them with like 2 weeks after they broke the record. I thought.
I mean, it's been so long.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway, like I'm just
Yeah.
I'm not saying it. The New Day, they're just. I think they've just been doing the same thing for so long that it's just kind of old now. No pun intended. Old day.
Oh God! Please don't put that segment.
I'm trying to think. You have. I mean, we had the main event was a 6-man tag. You know, you had your faces versus your heels in this Money in the Bank match. So Sami Zayn, Shinsuke, and AJ versus Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, and Dolph Ziggler.
I saw that. That was a great match.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Another thing about the Sami Zayn character is outside of him just constantly getting blindsided, it's like the backstage segments that they have with him. It's like they act like nobody likes him. You know, have you seen these backstage segments?
I've seen it, but I love it. I think it's.
I think it's funny, but I like it for Sammy, but the way they're having these other people react to it is just, to me, burying him even more. Because when you've got these people that are constantly like rolling their eyes and just walking away from Sammy, you know, when he's in the middle of a sentence, it's like you're running the guy down even more than he already was. And he's already struggling enough as it is to get wins.
Yeah. I don't know. I really liked it, though. I feel like him, or just all three of them, really gelling around Shinsuke, and just his reaction at the end of it.
Yeah.
They played it safe, not having him talk too much, which is great.
But they still had AJ kind of like,
yeah.
You know?
Well, I feel like AJ just sort of. Well, didn't he say that like in the very beginning? He's a cool guy, but just whenever it comes to pre-matches, you know, he gets a little. But.
And then at the end of that, you had Shinsuke climbed up the ladder and grabbed the briefcase, which. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about it.
I think that, given WWE's history, it probably.
Okay, let me recap this. This is not the actual Money in the Bank match. It was just they had it on the set. Yeah. They just after the match, Shinsuke climbed up, kind of like, could this happen on Sunday? Because the actual match is on Sunday. I just want to clarify that and make sure everyone knows that Shinsuke did not win yet, because the match has not officially happened yet. And then you have the who cares about the main event. Sadly, I hate it because I love Randy and I don't care.
Yeah, I agree with that. The booking, it's not even just the booking. It's just because they're trying to build this as a monster feud. When you have this gimmick pay-per-view for Money in the Bank, the focus is obviously not going to be on the championship.
Yeah, your two big matches are the two Money in the Bank matches. Your main event is there because it's the main. I mean, your title is there because it's the title, and you have to have. Unless you're Brock, the title needs to be on pay per view. So it's just there, and everyone knows how I feel about Jinder Mahal at this point. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that one.
I'm going to say that for the sake of this pay per view, if they just want to be safe, they'll keep it on Jinder. He will win again via shenanigans, and that will be it. That is just the safe option. If it if he should be winning these matches, it should not be from shenanigans. He should not be winning from shenanigans. I don't like it. It's just that guy is a freaking monster, and he cannot win a match. It's just he can't win a match by himself. It's stupid. Well, okay,
it's stupid.
So what if they do this, where like for the longest time, I always use this example, Seth and J&J Security, he had a instance at some sort of pay-per-view where J&J Security were banned from ringside.
Yeah, I believe that was a Randy Orton match too, because it wasn't that the steel cage match or something like that. Maybe. Because then they had the RKO banned. I remember that match because they said the RKO was banned, and I was pissed. Because Seth Rollins used the RKO. I'm like, you just said the RKO is banned. How can you have Seth Rollins doing an RKO in the match if you say it's banned?
But even then, check it out. Didn't Seth still win, though?
Yeah, he won. I don't know about you. How do you win clean in a steel cage match? I believe he climbed over
Well,
the
I
top.
mean,
I don't think he.
okay, so
Well, I
yeah,
don't remember if he pinned him or not. I don't remember. Seth Rollins did win though. I do remember that.
yeah. So in which case Seth won. Maybe they could be doing sort of the same thing, like people will start to question, like you have, Jinder's viability as a champion. Is he as good as he says he is? Well, Jinder, if you want to prove how good you are, we got to ban the Singh brothers from ringside. There you go. Simple as that.
I was fine with it in Seth's case because he was not the size that Jinder Mahal is. That's my
Yeah.
hold up on Jinder Mahal. If he was not the size that he is, I would be. I'm not saying I'd be fine with it. I'd be better with it. But
Okay.
because the size that he is, I I I just don't find it believable. You know.
Mm.
That's that. Randy Orton's dad's gonna be ringside, so I'm gonna be in the same building as Randy Orton's dad, Cowboy
You're
Bob
right.
Orton.
Rumor has it that there's going to be a Legends segment. I can't remember where I saw this from,
I think I
but
heard something about that too.
it might have been on the newsletter, Wrestling Observer newsletter or something.
Mhm.
But there's going to be some type of segment featuring Randy Orton's dad
Yeah.
and some other legends of the St. Louis wrestling area, some old school Hall of Famers. So again, that's nothing that's confirmed, but that's something that you might get to see while you're there, Scott. So, all right.
Oh, something else that I noticed on the Fashion Files this week with Fandango. That
Yeah.
dude is like, because he had on one of those male romper things, which was like, I mean, I thought it was kind of
Yeah.
funny. But the dude has like tattoos like all up his leg. I was like,
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I always find like tattoos interesting. So I saw that. I was like, oh wow, was not
like
expecting that.
they just recently Gold Dust. He's got quite
Yeah,
a
he's
few.
got
He's got
sleeves, doesn't he? And he got,
I
but he,
think he's got like
at
a
least he has
half
half
sleeve
sleeves
sort of
or
and a
something.
full sleeve on one side.
Because I mean, he's always wearing his latex thing, so you can never see it all
So
the way.
you don't see it.
So Zack Ryder's back though.
Yes, I know that.
What's
If
your
you ask
thought? What's your thought? Yeah, we know Matt is not a fan of Zack Ryder being put back with Mojo Rawley, but I'm okay with it.
I am too. I feel like Mojo Rawley has gained a lot of momentum from his Battle Royal win back at WrestleMania, even though his momentum died absolutely right after that.
Because they didn't use him.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a solid fan base with him that want him to succeed. So I feel like he'll get some positive booking from now on. But now that he's back with Zach, I would love them to.
That's not why I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because the match that Zach got hurt in, they won that number one contendership for the tag team titles. So I'm like, they have that number one contendership. It's already built into that story. Might as well go ahead and use it, Mojo's not really doing anything. It gets Zach back out into the people's eyes. They can kind of see it. I'm not saying they got to stay it. If they lose and then they split them up, that's fine. If they keep them together and they don't use them, then that's a waste of talent. But if they go ahead and at least do this, the number one contendership spot, I don't know how they're going to do it. If it's going to depend on, I guess, who wins this week, which we'll get into shortly.
So my thing is, if they go for that, I want them to stretch out their tag team group, the Hype Bros. I want them to be a thing for a little while. Go ahead and go for that number one contender shot that you do have built in, as you said. But a lot of what I've seen online from just people commenting is that, boy, someone's gonna go heel and turn on the other.
There's other ways to split up a tag team.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of a turning on your friends in the tag team division as of late, with not just a DIY on NXT, but also the mystery attacks on Enzo and Cass over on Raw.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they were to do it on SmackDown, it's oversaturated. It'd be too much.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with them as singles competitors as long as they're used, and I'm fine with them as tag team competitors as long as if they're used. And my thing is, if you can get the Fashion Police to work, and if you can at least bring the Colognes into a pretty high-profile feud,
Yeah.
then I'm fine with that. I think that if man, I mean, SmackDown really is the land of opportunity,
The problem is
and
they have so many other tag teams too that they could utilize. I mean, that SmackDown tag team division to me is pretty stacked in my opinion.
oh yeah, for sure.
Because you got, I mean, the Ascension are your longest reigning NXT tag champs, so clearly it must have been doing something right down there. So what happened
Mhm.
between NXT and main roster? So there's some disconnect there. Second
Mhm.
off, you've got American Alpha, who were majorly over down in NXT again. So what is this? Why is it people are getting over in NXT but they can't get over on the main roster? That's a debate for another time, though.
Yeah.
So now we should move into what I believe is the big stories for the weekend, and that is the women's division.
Yes.
So the first women's match they had was Tamina versus Naomi, and then shortly after that match started, Lana comes out. So continuing that Lana and Naomi are going to face each other, and I believe Lana debuted a move. Whether or not it's her finisher is yet to be decided, but it is. I don't even know how to explain it. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't.
It's like
All right.
it's kind of like a bear hug into like a. I don't know.
So think of it as a sit-out spine
Yeah,
buster,
yeah. Okay.
but
Okay.
the person doing the move grabs the person's like arm and puts it around their
And then
back.
underhook their leg too, right?
Yeah. The underhook, hook the leg.
Anyway, check it out, guys. It's kind of hard to explain. Moves are very
Yeah.
difficult to explain with words sometimes. But no, I'm liking it. I think they're building up Lana to be a decent heel from only 2 weeks. I feel like they've built up her character in 2 weeks pretty well. So going into this weekend, I can see that match going either way. Then you have the big Money in the Bank match. You had Charlotte and Naomi, or Charlotte and Natalia. They had a solid wrestling match.
I like it.
I wasn't a fan of. I mean, I guess it's probably because I'm a Natty fan, but I just wasn't a fan how she just loses clean in the middle without any interference anywhere. You know, just I don't know. I guess you got to keep Charlotte looking like the number one girl on the roster.
Yeah,
I guess is the one.
there's a hierarchy of sorts that hasn't yet been established on SmackDown with the women's division, like I guess their power rankings or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They haven't really been set in stone
yet.
Well,
with the cluster of your Money in the Bank, it's just you don't. I mean, they have to. Yeah. They want everyone to look as even as possible so that anybody is
a potential candidate to win.
Exactly, because if you just have Carmella jobbing out to everybody, then Carmella's not. Why would Carmella with the briefcase makes no sense, you know? So, yeah, there's that. No, like I said, it was a solid match. So, I'm trying to think, is there anything else on SmackDown you want to talk about? If you want to go ahead and start getting some of these predictions and talking about the actual pay-per-view itself. Guys, I'm not going to lie, this might be a shorter episode since there's just the two of us.
Yeah. Real fast, let's at least talk about NXT. Just real fast, breeze right on through it. Okay. Just another real thing. It'll take me a second to get back into 205 Live. Just because what I've seen as of recently, I'm not enjoying it. Yeah, difficult to watch, especially on top of. If it's a struggle
to sit through something, then why you shouldn't watch it. If you're not enjoying it, to me, then why are you watching?
Yeah, but aside from that statement, going on to NXT, we had some pretty high level matches. One being that we had a rematch from TakeOver Chicago. We had Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross.
This is a solid finish. Solid finish
for sure. But I feel like the match.
It was okay.
It was okay. It wasn't as sloppy as their TakeOver Chicago show, but I feel like that a lot of that was because of Ember getting injured last minute, and that probably shook some stuff up. It was a better match.
She's cleared now, by the way. She's cleared to get back in the rings. She's coming back next week.
Yep, and she's taking on Peyton Royce in her debut match back.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, the end of that match resulted in a no finish. Is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
called
Yeah.
a no
Yeah.
finish.
hmm
Well, first off,
So
Ruby Riott got she was pinned, so it was an elimination, triple threat elimination match. So you have to pin or submit the other two people. So Ruby
yeah,
Riott was the first one eliminated, and I thought about that. So I'm like, are they saying then that they think Nikki Cross is a either that or with how that finish was, it worked better with Nikki Cross than it did with Ruby Riott. Do you think that's
for
probably why
sure.
they did it?
My
Which that
take,
finish was is that Nikki Cross and Asuka ended up going outside the. They went like backstage, were beating each other up against like the overhead doors, and Asuka's face got dumped into a cooler of ice water.
yeah,
Um, which I feel like Asuka's hair dye is not cheap because it did not easily come out when her face went in
there you
that
go.
water. So that's a plus.
That
And
WWE budget.
yeah, and then they ended up. It's like Nikki Cross went for like her crossbody and off like a stage and into Asuka, and they fell onto a table. So it was a good finish. It was definitely shown that
Yeah, for
first
sure.
off, Nikki Cross would do damn near anything. Um,
Oh yeah.
Looking like the Matt Hardy of the Jeff Hardy of the women's division down at NXT. Do a
Mhm.
swanton off anything. But no, I liked it. It definitely, to me, it showed that Asuka, there's some cracks in the armor. You know, she's starting to come back down. Whether or not Nikki's going to be that girl that takes it off her, I don't know.
Yeah, there's still a lot to be said about Asuka and her title reign, and I mean, even as of recent, her quality of matches. But I mean, no doubt to say that she's earned it, and mad respect to her for carrying mostly the
She
NXT.
carried that division for solid what
Mhm.
6 or 8 months
Yeah, until
at
they
least.
actually started getting, Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross well and established, and then Ember Moon.
Once Bailey left, well, I guess it wouldn't have been. It she
Well,
carried
really,
for a
once,
while. She carried that division.
yeah, really, whenever like Nia Jax finally got kicked out and on main and all that stuff, finally, it was just Asuka and
Which I don't think Nia should ever make it to the main roster. I've said that before. I think she
oh
should
yeah,
still be down there.
agreed. But that was it for that. We had the Authors of Pain come out and do a little promo
Well,
stating
they did
that
a tag team match with only one person because
oh
the other
yeah,
guy jumped off the
she's,
stage, and then I
mm,
can't tell the two apart. And then the other
yeah.
one just destroyed that other team like a minute and a half. It was crazy.
Well, yeah, it was a short match.
Yeah, it was
I
like a minute
mean,
long.
I completely forgot about it. I mean, you just reminded me. I was like, oh
Yep.
yeah, that
Yep.
did happen. But yeah, right after that, they beat a couple of jobbers in decisive fashion. And after that, they cut a promo stating that they were the most dominant tag team in the division, that they've defeated the likes of TM61, which, dear Christ, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Yeah, are they even on the NXT roster anymore?
I don't think so, which is crazy because they were a good talent. But they had
American
beaten
Alpha,
DIY.
Revival,
Yeah,
DIY, and
yeah,
then now
they
Heavy
had
Machinery.
Mhm. Heavy
So,
Machinery has now answered the call, and I
number one
dig it.
contenders.
Yeah. So who knows what their rivalry is going to be like going into the future. But I know that we had another match from the Velveteen Dream.
I don't like him.
Yeah, he's got potential. I will say that.
The wrestler's fine. The character's horrible.
Maybe it's just because we don't know enough. Maybe we need to see a couple promos, some backstage interviews, or something.
I guess
But,
I don't. Yeah, maybe I just don't understand it. To me, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not going to get behind it. I just don't like the character.
yeah. Towards the
As of right
beginning of the
now.
show, towards the beginning of the show, they had a pretty awesome promo for Aleister Black, stating
The
just
homie.
yeah, they just were stating the sort of mystical and mysterious aspect of him that you never really know what to expect from this guy, but he's really dominant. Which, I mean, he hasn't lost yet. So the guy is clearly doing something right. He's already over with the fans, and apparently already over with some of the guys like Triple H
On the
and
main
Vince.
roster, main roster
Yeah.
people love him too.
Mhm. So a lot of love there. And he's going to have a match next week against, I don't know who. Was it Cassius Ohno?
Yeah, I thought he was taking on Hideo Itami next week. I'm very confused what's happening next week, so we'll just have to tune in to find out, though.
Yeah. I know that there's a lot of big matches scheduled for next week, though.
Aleister Black will be wrestling next week, though. That much.
Yeah. So, yeah, that alone is a reason to tune in and watch.
The only other thing was Drew McIntyre won another squash match, so that's really it on NXT though. The big thing was that triple threat match. So,
Alrighty. So now we can get into these predictions for Money in the Bank.
Hold on one second, Money.
And as for our MIA friend Matthew, he's gonna have to fill you in on his predictions some other way. So we'll leave that on to him.
Yep.
It's because he's not here, so he can't participate. But
agreed.
He can definitely chime in some other way. I mean, you can definitely see that from the High Risk Facebook page at least. But you'll at least get our lovely predictions. Mm-hmm. So
the only two that really matter. So
yeah, is everything lined up?
Yeah, I'm good to go. So all right, first match. I'm just going off WWE website. The bottom of the card. The SmackDown Women's Championship match, Naomi versus Lana.
I'm going to legit say Naomi wins. I think that I know with the whole typical your debut match is usually the match that you win. I feel like they're gonna flip the script on this. The only shots that Lana have gotten in have been cheap shots, and I don't know. I just feel like Naomi is more likely to win.
See, I'm kind of torn because if Naomi loses, I'm going to have a very long car ride back with my niece. So
yeah,
and I don't really know if I want to bet against her. I can see this is one of those matches I can see either way. I mean, I don't mind Naomi, but I think I'm gonna have to go Lana. I think I'm going Lana. Naomi's fine. She's just not an amazing champ. She's not a bad champ. She's just a champ to me. So I think it's time to mix it up a little bit. You got all these other women, coming up too. So
here's my thing. I could see Naomi winning at Money in the Bank and then losing that next time on SmackDown. Losing her belt for whatever reason to get a rematch.
You said Naomi? For the belt. You said Naomi?
Yeah. Yep, Naomi for Money in the Bank.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Nah.
Question. Okay, I got a question. Is this match going on before or after the women's ladder Money in the Bank match? Reason I'm asking that, do you think they'd have one of the whoever wins cash in that night? I don't think they should. I feel like they should hold on to it.
God, no.
I'm just saying it's an option. It's always an option. They keep bringing it up on SmackDown. So do you think you don't think it's going to happen?
There's definitely not going to be a cash in tonight or on Sunday.
There's not going to be a women's cash in Sunday. Are you going to say, or do you just don't think there's going to be a cash in period?
I don't think there's going to be a cash in period.
I mean, I wouldn't think so either because they did it last year. Where it's the same
exactly.
Night. So, all right, tag team championships. Usos, New Day.
I honestly want the Usos to keep it.
Are you going? Is your day one is H or is it G? Which one's your?
I think my day one is H. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Usos win.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like the Usos. I really do.
I do too. I do.
I like this run they're doing, but I don't know. I feel like they're going to do the New Day because I feel like those tag team belts need a little more prestige to them, add a little bit of something. And as we said, we're over the New Day, but I still feel like their name adds quite a bit of weight, and I feel like that'll add a little bit more prestige to. I don't want to see the Usos lose them, but I I
So I
feel
mean, just real fast. You say like prestige, and with the New Day getting it, but I mean, didn't we want the Fashion Police to beat the Usos? You know, like what is
yeah,
like
yeah. I'm
when
not.
when does the line between prestige and something that just feels right? You know, like I don't know. When did those lines become blurred and crossed?
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Hmm.
Um, I wish the Fashion Police had the belts.
For sure, for
I
sure.
understand why they don't because they knew they had a New Day coming,
Hmm.
and the New Day needed the belts. And then the other question is then if the Hype Bros get their title shots, who's that going to be against? So I don't know.
True,
I'm
true.
going New Day. Um,
Okay.
I just think they bring the New Day back. They don't even win a chance. They are number one contenders. So I think they're going to give the belts to New Day just so the longest reigning tag champs are under have the SmackDown belts too.
All right.
So we'll save the Money in the Bank matches for last. We will go with your title match. Well, I'm not going to say main event because we don't know what the main event's going to be.
Yeah.
Jinder Mahal, your WWE champion, versus Randy Orton.
I'm going to say Jinder
I knew
Mahal
you were
via
going to.
shenanigans. Yeah, that's it.
I just don't like Jinder. I'm going Randy. I just don't like Jinder.
Hey, that's fine.
I
And
don't
you,
like
you
him.
could say Randy Orton in his hometown with his father being ringside, or at least being there to some extent. You
It's
know.
even more fuel for me to pick Jinder, but I'm still going with Randy just because I do not like Jinder. I don't like his character. I don't like what they've done with him.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
Perfectly understandable.
going with, it's a lot. Apparently, we're a lot easier to talk to each other when Matt's not here. I think he's just the,
Yeah. Maybe he's the one who like exit along.
yeah,
You
maybe
know,
that's what I was
really
going.
gets the blood boiling.
All right, so I say the biggest match on the card, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I think I'm more excited for this one than I am the men's.
I am more excited for this one just because of the potential
Yeah,
that this
yeah.
match can have.
And it's the
If
first
they,
women's Money in the Bank match. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know how good it's gonna be. I know that these girls are gonna want it to be great. I don't know
Yeah,
how well. I mean, I guess my big thing. I'm looking at the five girls in it, and I keep looking at Carmella, and I'm like, is she gonna what? Is she gonna be able to? Is she
my
gonna be
thing
able
is
to?
like with Carmella especially. This is, as far as I know, these women's first ladder match,
Yeah,
and for their first ladder match to be a Money in the Bank ladder match,
yeah, it's crazy.
that's a lot to take in, and that's a lot of practicing. I mean, there's a lot of spots that you can't rehearse for
Yeah,
a Money in the Bank match.
we just gotta go for it.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is just
That
that leap of
reminds
faith.
me. That reminds me of like, have you ever watched Edge documentary on the network?
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
There's one. It's just like whenever they asked when he spears Jeff Hardy off the belts at TLC 2 at what is it WrestleMania 17. He's like,
I
you know
think
how
so.
many people ask me how many times I rehearsed that? He's like, are you freaking kidding me? Do you think I rehearsed that? No
Yeah,
way, man. We just went for it. There's no way I was gonna do that a second time.
no,
No way. If you would have done it the first time and knew what happened, there's no way you're doing it a second time.
yeah.
But there's just, like you said, there's just some spots that you just gotta go for it. You can't think about it. You just gotta do it.
I feel like out of all the women's matches that have pushed the barrier, for instance, the women's Hell in the Cell match,
Mm-hmm.
and there a women's table match at TLC.
Yeah, but they never made a big deal about it. So apparently,
Yeah,
there's
they did.
been table matches before.
I think there was one before with Natalia and somebody else. It was like a pink table or something.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
probably back in the
back.
diva age.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
But I feel like this is the first match with the women's that has a lot of eyes, even more eyes than the Hell in the Cell looking on it. And as I said, there's a lot of potential that this match can have. And also, I mean, just shooting back to our whenever we first got the news that this was going to be having a history-making women's Money in the Bank match. You can check us out on our YouTube channel, Hires Podcast, where you're watching right now. We actually did a little mock what could happen. And with that, Becky Lynch wound up winning. And I really hope that doesn't happen, honestly. Um, I feel like out of all the women who probably need to win this match, I'm going to say it's Natalia or Carmella. Or even, I mean, man, it's so tough.
You just gotta pick one, Noah.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and say Natalia.
You can't do that because that's my pick. You have to pick a different one.
Oh, God.
I already called dibs on Natalia like 2 weeks ago, so sorry.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll go ahead and, man, this is really tough because all of them can like do great things.
That's what I'm saying. It's they've done a good job. I mean, Tamina and Carmella to me are the weaker members of this.
That's
but
why
they're still not, complete underdogs. So
yeah.
All right, Noah. You going?
I'm
Carmella?
Gonna go ahead. Yeah, Carmella.
Okay. I'm excited. I really am. I think Charlotte and Naomi are gonna take some crazy bumps. Becky Lynch can even take some crazy bumps. I'm excited. I hope nobody gets hurt. I hope everyone makes it out. Fine. Ladder matches are dangerous. There's no doubt about it.
For sure.
And I'm looking forward to this match. The men's Money in the Bank, I think, is going to be a better ladder match because a lot of those guys, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and even AJ Styles, have a lot of experience. AJ not as much. Have a lot of experience with ladder matches. So I'm not
AJ
expecting.
AJ just has a lot of experience just in general.
Wrestling, yes, and he's done enough ladder matches. I feel like he knows what he can and cannot do. I hope that these women do not try to outdo it. There's never been one before, so we don't have anything to base it off of. And to me,
exactly.
I mean, I like to try to compare the men and the women, as much as possible. Equal playing field. But on none of these women, I think have ever actually had a ladder match, and I just don't want them to do something absolutely crazy out of their minds and get hurt. So let's continue on. Sorry. All right. So your men's Money in the Bank ladder match: Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
I think it's fair to say that Shinsuke is not going to win.
Really? Really? You think so? All the dirt sheets I've seen is he's been one of the favorites.
Yeah, he's one of the favorites, but just with all the booking, I mean, going to the past and the history of the WWE, the person who looks the most dominant on the go-home show to a pay-per-view
generally doesn't win.
Yes, and especially in ladder matches, Money in the Bank, stuff like that. Typically, the guy who climbs the belt.
I honestly thought he was going to fall off that ladder on Tuesday. He was getting real shaky up on top of that ladder. I was like,
and you got to think, this is probably Shinsuke's
have you
first
ever climbed a ladder before, Shinsuke? Because it sure did not look like it.
But I think because they've made Sami Zayn look pretty weak, pretty underdoggy, I feel like Sami Zayn would be a perfect candidate to win this, and then it would give the ultimate underdog or the underdog from the underground a leg up on the competition to come in, take advantage, and finally get that win or that big moment that he's been trying to get to for so long.
So is that your pick?
So that is my pick, Sami Zayn. He's a wild card, I feel, in this match.
Yeah, see, this is another tough one. This whole card is a tough one to pick.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's hard.
Which, like I said before, I like that because you just don't know. So I can tell you how I don't want to win. I don't. Yeah, Shinsuke. I'm not a huge Shinsuke fan. Kevin Owens. I feel like you shouldn't have a United States belt and the Money in the Bank belt unless you're going to take or take the U.S. belt off him.
Okay.
So I'd like to see Kevin with a Money in the Bank match. I don't think he'll get one down the road. He'll get a briefcase,
for
so
sure.
I think he can definitely do some. His character would work great with that Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
I think. Sami Zayn, I like Sami. I'm not sure I see him doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Dolph's kind of there to me. I mean, I don't mind Dolph. I don't dislike him. I don't like him that much. He's gonna do good in this match because he's experienced. Well, like Dolph Ziggler's real experienced in ladder matches too. He's won before, so I think he's gonna be there just to make that ladder match look good. So I don't think he's gonna win. And so now it's down to my heart's telling me AJ Styles, and my head is kind of leaning towards Baron Corbin.
Really?
Yeah, because I think, well, they're wanting Baron Corbin to be their number one heel on SmackDown. That's what they want. That's what they're trying to aim for by the end of the year. Is what everything I've heard, everything I've read, is they're wanting Baron to be the number one heel going into the new year. So I think this is a good way to get him on that track. You can get him the briefcase. He doesn't have to use it right away. You can keep building him up more and more and more, and then whenever you're ready for him to do that, he's got an end to that main event.
Okay.
But I feel like if I'm wearing an AJ Styles shirt, I'm gonna have to go with AJ Styles. So
I would have to agree with you, man.
So that's our picks going into Money in the Bank. I'm sure Matt will get his picks out there at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's where we are at here. Normally, this is when we talk about New Japan, but we actually recorded right before this. We recorded another a shorter episode where we talked about the Kenny Omega. I'm just going to call him Okada because I can't say his first name. So we talked about that match and the 5 or 6 star ratings and all that. So we're not sure if that's going to be up before or after this one, but go ahead and check that out because, but we can go ahead and, since I said we talk about the United States tournament, we can go ahead and talk about that, Noah. We got a little bit of time, so.
Yeah, so with the United States tournament, it is New Japan's, we've talked about this before, New Japan's big leap into United States soil as far as establishing their wrestling promotion here in the States. And if you've never watched New Japan before, just know that they have broken the Dave Meltzer 5-star rating scale system. There have now been 2 matches that have been rated 6 stars or above. And if you guys know anything about a 5-star rating system, you don't go over 5 stars. So why is it that in New Japan, they've gone to 6 stars and over twice? They've done that 2 times.
Check out our other video to get our insights on that.
Yeah, you have to go check it out. I honestly don't know what the title of it is going to be because we haven't gotten that far into the process yet. But
anyway, going to this United States champion or tournament. So what was there? 8 guys, right?
Yes.
I think it's a single elimination tournament, right?
But there's a quite some big names in here. Just to list a few, we have Jay Lethal, who is big in Ring of Honor and TNA. We have Kenny Omega, who's going to be in this tournament, somebody that you really want to look out for. Zack Sabre Jr., who is he's pretty popular.
Not a big Zack Sabre Jr. fan. I saw him at the Cruiserweight Classic. Wasn't a big fan.
I agree. I feel the same. But not even in the there's some other big stars over in Japan that you may not know, like Tomohiro Ishii. He is he is strong style personified. Now that Shinsuke is out the door as the king of strong style, Tomohiro Ishii is pretty much stiff working, almost like the Authors of Pain. He wrestles a lot like them. So he's definitely somebody to look out for in that tournament. This tournament is going to be July 1st.
Isn't Cody Rhodes in it too?
Cody Rhodes is not. He's actually challenging.
There's another. I thought isn't there another American in this tournament?
There's Michael Elgin. I'm not sure if he's American or not. Then there's Hangman Page.
He's another Bullet Club member.
Bullet Club. No, there's no other Bullet Club members in here. There is a wrestler named Juice Robertson who actually wrestled in NXT for a minute under what name I can't remember, but I know that he wrestled in NXT for a minute and then was I can't tell if he was let go or quit for not so good reasons, but there's definitely that. But yeah, there's a lot of great names in this tournament for people you should be looking out for. So there's a lot coming up for that tournament that y'all definitely need to pay attention to.
Do you have a favorite right now going into it?
Favorite? Oh man, it's crazy. I don't think at least any of the Japanese competitors are gonna win.
Yeah, you're United States Championship. Let's put it,
Yeah, you want somebody from the States to hold that belt.
I don't know if you want somebody from the States. You just want somebody who's can represent.
Yeah.
Represent non-Japanese people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is a conversation that can be extended to the UK Championship. Should only members of the United Kingdom be able to that belt?
That's
it's a weird
different
conversation with that.
Only reason I say that is because my vote's for Kenny Omega because I feel like he'd do really well for that, and he's from Canada, so.
Okay, and I mean we do have a Canadian now, a French Canadian at that, who is the face of America.
It's true.
So
Mr. Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen.
Yeah. But I feel like Jay Lethal, he's a great pick now that he's no longer a Ring of Honor World Champion. I feel like he's a great pick, and really he's probably my favorite. As long as if
you're going Jay Lethal, okay.
Well, he's just one of my favorites for right now. It's not a locked in pick, but
you got 3 weeks to go.
Yeah, we've got a lot of time. I mean, obviously, I'm in love with people like Kenny Omega. Obviously, his matches are great, and a lot of people agree. And then, I mean, a lot of people are behind Zack Sabre Jr. If you're into strong style, you're really gonna love Tomohiro Ishii. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who could win. There's a lot of favorites. So there's a lot of potentials. But for me personally, nothing is set in stone yet. There's just too much, too early.
All right, Noah, anything else we want to talk about?
No, that's it, man. For any more in detail New Japan stuff, this time we're going to have to catch that separate video that me and Scott recorded, and that'll hopefully be up sometime relatively soon along with this video, so be a lookout for that. But that's it for me, man. I can't think of anything else to put in.
Alrighty, well, that was this week's episode of High Risk. If you can follow us on Twitter at High Risk Podcast, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then on Facebook at High Risk. Is there any? See, this is why Matt does the outros because I always forget.
Yeah, I mean, really, guys, if you want to support us, the best way to do that is just to like any of the videos, either just on Facebook or on YouTube, and to share it. Get the name out. If you have wrestling friends, let them know. We are young and upcoming. We are a fresh podcast here. We're just starting.
Work in progress.
Yeah. As we said, this is one of our first videos with a visual. You can see our faces. You can look at our reactions and everything. So this is the first of hopefully many. Hopefully this is a standard. This is our platform from now on as far as just having videos and all that. So, and the reason that we do this is just because, we've heard from a lot of our fans that you guys not only want to listen, but you want to watch as well. And we're definitely listening to you guys for stuff like that. And if you guys have any suggestions for anything, we definitely want to hear you out, and we definitely want to know your input if we're doing well, if there's things that you'd like for us to change. But I feel like we've got a pretty good platform and something solid, hopefully, coming up. But yeah, I mean, we really appreciate your guys' support that we've been getting so far, and hopefully, as we always say, we grow as we go, and we hopefully can do a lot more for you guys in the future.
All right, I got one more thing I gotta tell you.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Always tuck your chin.
Oh, you sly devil, you.